You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's Cowboys Talk text line. This is more. We are asking you, who do you trust more in big moments, Jordan Love or Matt LaFleur? That's our Signing Limited poll question. Donnie DeForest says, I'm a Cowboy fan. I don't consider it a win. The Packers lucked out in the final seconds. Their defense is good, but it's overrated. Ziggy and Kenosha, third down packages with 91 and 52 on the field, worked the first 3 games. Not one time yesterday were those 3 in the field or on the field together. Defensive coordinator, not so smart. That's Ziggy in Kenosha. I had a take on Jordan Love where I don't think you can really trust him in big moments. If he is the $55 million quarterback, if he is the elite quarterback that Packer fans want him to be, then he's a guy who doesn't throw an interception at the end of the Cleveland game, doesn't have a disastrous fumble, not knowing situational football at the end of the half, doesn't throw the ball to Emmanuel Wilson to run out the clock and have disastrous situational football at the end of overtime. If he is elite, then he doesn't do those things. Let's get out to Steve in Wanakee, 844-770-3776. That's Cowboys Talk text line. This is more. Hey, Steve.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. We're hanging out at Roost. Can't be better. Yeah, we got you.
There you go. Everything changed for me last night right before the half. I think the reason why we're frustrated today, if we're frustrated today, is we still think the Packers have an elite team with elite coaching staff. We don't. We're an average team with an average coaching staff, and we've had plenty we can draw on in the last 2 weeks to point that out. The only qualifier I would give you is this. We got a lot of injuries on the offensive line, and Watson and Reed are out. If all 5 of those guys, the 3 linemen and the 2 receivers, are full go healthy, could be a different deal. But I think they've shown us average team, average coaches.
Thanks, Steve. I think that's a great take. Matt, I'll let you respond to that.
Yeah, I don't entirely disagree. I think there is we obviously have one elite defensive rusher. We might have like 4 or 5 like elite players on the team, but I think for the most part everyone's average to a little above average. And last night it looks like there was a bunch of below average players. Carrington Valentine.
Who are the elite players though? Like you said, 4 or 5. Who are the 4 or 5?
Xavier, I think, is elite.
Dog.
I think Parsons is elite.
Dog.
I think there's a case to be made for Tucker Kraft, but maybe not quite yet.
On his way up. Okay.
He's trending towards elite, just like Adrian Cooper.
Right, Adrian Cooper. Right?
Adrian Cooper was
so there, like I said,
last night.
There's 4 or 5 that are like at least looking like they could be or already are.
I would say there are 2 unquestioned elite players on the Packers. That's Xavier McKinney and Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Oh, and then I would say Josh Jacobs has proven he can be an elite player. Can he do it week in and week out and after an elite season? He hasn't done it yet, so
isn't that kind of the definition of elite, though? It's the same thing with Jordan Love. Jordan Love can make elite throws,
right?
But he's
I suppose so. Maybe Josh Jacobs is just very good, and last night he was very good.
And they have a handful of very good players. Absolutely, I would say that Jordan Love falls into that as well. Jordan Love to me continues to sit as a quarterback who is between the 8th and 12th best quarterback, and I still haven't seen anything from him that says he can jump past that. But that doesn't mean you can't win with him.
I do just say, like going back to the caller, I think that they have a good team. Just I think they don't know how to fire on all cylinders every single game. And by that, does that make them an average team? If you can't figure it out?
Yes, I think that's part of it.
It's like the worst way to be average, where you have moments of being elite, and then you have absolute dog water plays. When you land in the middle, you're just average. Like, the highs and the lows for the Packers seem to be very high and very low, where sometimes when you think of an average team, they're just like meh all game. That's not the Packers. The Packers love to be elite in the first quarter, and then they like to take an absolute dip in the dog water late, and somewhere in the middle they find their footing, or they don't, and they lose to the and I say dog water because they lost at the pound.
You said dip in the dog water. So
just seeing how it felt.
Okay.
So that's like, I agree. I think they look pretty average, but it's such a weird average, which is where I say there's some silver linings. Like, there was some elite play last night.
I get the silver linings, but this team has Super Bowl expectations, and a tie against a bad football team after losing an embarrassing game, it's hard to take silver linings when you're talking about the expectations you're holding this team to. We all agreed this team was a team that looked like they were going to be the – Tasha was telling me I was an idiot to say it was too early, that maybe the Lions were not completely out of the picture in the after week one. Tauscher was on here telling
Tauscher's
me.
a homer.
Tausch wanted to write him off.
He said that the Packers are clearly head and shoulders above the rest of the NFC North after 1 week.
Tausch is a homer.
After
We
1
should know
week, that was a fair assessment. But to say that was going to be that way the rest of the year?
My whole point was it's too early to make such a grand statement as the Detroit Lions are 3-1, put up what?
They've put up like
27?
1 million points this season
But then
already.
they put up 27 on Cleveland? Like the team the Packers?
No, they put up like 37.
37 on
Yeah.
Cleveland. The team the Packers couldn't score on. So, mutuals, opponents.
But the
not necessarily
Packers,
best
to me,
track.
am I crazy? The Packers should be 4-0. The Packers should not have lost to the Cleveland Browns, and they should not have lost to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, they were one play away from beating the Browns. How long have they been down this season? I'm just curious in terms of, like, actually losing. It's got to be seconds, it feels like.
Well, there's like 6 lead changes yesterday, so
Okay, but
there's a
like-
little bit, probably
You know
more
what I mean.
yesterday than the rest of the season combined.
In the last 2
Yeah.
games, both of which they've lost, they led by double digits before the other team even scored a point.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There you go, first quarter
And
heroes.
It's a totally different story, too, because obviously last night it was the defense that changed that game, but then the Cleveland Browns game, that was Jordan Love. Throwing an interception, giving them that momentum, that was Jordan Love.
Yeah.
But they should be 4-0. They should
Well,
be going into their bye
strip
week
sack.
4-0.
Strip sack.
What?
Strip-
I'm saying
yeah.
the interception in the
Oh,
Cleveland
in the Browns game. Yeah, that was so brutal.
Yeah, and then going into the bye week, and then you play the Bengals at home, a Bengals team that doesn't have Joe Burrow. What the hell are they going to do at Lambeau Field? Put up 40 on them too?
The weird thing is, so run this. I'm going to run this by you guys. I'll leave the grades to you. But we all agree, Micah Parsons, Week 1, Detroit, A+ menace on the field, right?
Yeah.
Cleveland. I'm sorry, not Cleveland. Washington.
I thought he
Yep.
disrupted plenty. A.
Okay. Cleveland.
Jaden Daniels didn't do anything, so yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah, defense was great.
But not defense. Micah Parsons.
Oh, Micah Parsons?
A or B.
So, and then last
I
night.
think also you have to think of the presence that he brings.
Last
to
night
the
was
elevated
wild.
other
Like,
players.
I will say, it looked like the second he lined up, they would do something to make sure the play was going the other way.
Right. And so my point is, and this is not on Micah Parsons, but it seems like this defense needs Micah Parsons to be Superman for the defense to work.
And he was
He
last
was
night.
being- he was being double-teamed.
If he didn't get that tackle
Well, right.
on
Oh,
Dak,
yeah.
they lose the game.
Yeah, so he had one
That was-
sack for 0 yards. But I would say
Quarterback
you're right.
tackler.
He made a nice play, but
It was
he
a
not-
crucial sack.
It was a very important play, and he still played well, but he did not play A++, and that would be the concern I have as Packer fans, that Micah has to go out and be an abject freak in nature every game for this defense to work. Because
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. He was good, but Dallas came out there and basically said, we're not going to let Micah Parsons beat us.
Yeah, 100%.
But somebody smarter than me, though. Like, how did the Packers not have any pressure on Dak Prescott for what felt like the entire game if he was being double-teamed the entire game?
How's she just going to leave me out of a question like that?
I said somebody smarter than me.
Exactly.
That could include you.
Yeah, I thought you assumed you were smarter than me, so
No,
you're
no,
like,
I'm
Jim,
saying
I want
somebody,
your answer.
somebody smarter than me. Explain this to me. If Micah Parsons is getting double-teamed, why is somebody else not open?
Well, one, Van Ness and Gary are clearly players who are fully dependent on Micah Parsons. I'm guessing Schottenheimer, the coach for the Cowboys, is unquestionably, like, Dallas Cowboys offense has been good most of the year. Their lowest point out total was 14 last week, but that was an aberration. They got behind it, and I think they just struggled a little bit. Overall, he's a great play caller. Dak is a very good quarterback with great pocket presence. There was a couple times he did avoid Dak and make a play, but I think it's the play calling of setting Dak up, setting Micah up where he is going the wrong direction or going away from him, like you talked about, Matt. Like, there wasn't just the double teams part of it. It was like, we're going to maybe not double team him so we can man block everyone else, but we're going to
I'm going to boot away from him.
Right. We're going to constantly go away from him to keep him off of his game and keep him from being able to tee off and trying to keep him on his heels.
Yeah, I think you said it best when the Cowboys' game plan was to not let Micah control the pace or be the disruptor that he was. Like, he's one guy on a field. If you just run everything away from him, like Dallas basically did yesterday, the one time they booted towards him, Dak almost got annihilated.
Yep.
So, like, they definitely knew what they wanted to do, and they committed to that game plan, and it worked out well for him. It was just, don't let Micah beat you when he's on when you're playing offense and he's playing on defense, and just sling the pill, because this secondary is not as good as
It looked horrendous.
Yeah, like the secondary has looked better earlier this season because Micah has been effective and this defensive line has been effective. But the second that Micah was basically taken out of the game by avoiding him like the plague, this secondary got exposed.
I wonder, so I listened to a lot of the Cleveland game on the radio, and the Cleveland broadcasters kept saying there are people open downfield, but Joe Flacco keeps dropping his eyes because he's afraid to get hit. Now, Jaden Daniels is a mobile quarterback, so he doesn't fall into this, but Jared Goff is not mobile. That Detroit Lions offense, they dropped their eyes, they're afraid to get hit. And that game, Micah was a game wrecker. Dak is mobile enough, he's got good pocket awareness. He didn't drop his eyes and then, to your point, attack the secondary. If I'm a Packer fan, I'm worried that that's what other teams are going to do. They're going to say, you know what? Let's not let the fear of Micah Parsons beat us, and let's teach our quarterback, don't drop your eyes. If you keep your eyes down the field, you'll have just enough time to get that throw off. Because Dak had plenty of throws when Micah was close, but the Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman did enough to slow him, and then Dak was able to let it rip down the field. So I think anytime you're going to face a quarterback that can move a little bit, I think more and more teams are going to do what Matt talked about, roll away from Micah, but then also remind their quarterbacks, Micah's just a man. Our guys can chip him, slow him down, and if you get this ball out in 3 seconds like a normal quarterback should, you won't have any problems anyways. And I think that's what the other way it's going to be attacked. 844-770-3776. Ryan and Fort says they keep taking their foot off the gas every week.
Yep.
And then Matt Madison says literally a second away from losing last night. Lucky the clock runner wasn't slow on that last play.
So one thing I will say about the clock runner thing, it's not like each individual team has their own clock runner. Like, this isn't high school football. Yeah,
Right.
people realize that, right? Like, it's the NFL who runs the clock. So,
Yes.
that is an NFL official with a Rob Lowe hat on, being very not biased,
Man.
and not
I
allowing that to
imagine-
happen.
But it's not. It's less fun.
I was imagining
Yeah.
someone who looks like Wooly up in the press box, like hitting start
I thought I
stop.
figured this guy had a cowboy.
Oh
hat.
yeah, I was gonna say all decked out in Cowboys gear.
Beep, boop, bop, bop, beep.